Okay, this is Chuck Wood, again, of chuckclicks.com. And in this video, we're going to talk about Gutenberg. Gutenberg is the WordPress editor, new editor that's been added to the new release of WordPress, 5.0 release of WordPress. So we're going to look at that editor just so you can get an idea of what its capabilities are, what it can do, and what it can't do. And then you'll be able to also see some differences. You'll see a lot of differences, really, in from the original editor that WordPress had. Also, we'll talk about if you're someone that doesn't like the Gutenberg editor and you'd rather use the original editor, you can still do that. So you don't have to worry about the fact that the old editor is, or you think that it's going away. Now, only thing I don't know how long it's going to be around. Don't know how long the old editor is going to be around. I'm assuming they'll probably keep it around, for a while in plugin format. So, but anyway, so we're going to kind of play with the new Gutenberg editor. I think it's nice. I'm not complaining too much about it. I think it does some things that the old editor didn't do. It uses some of the technology that some of the other plugins, page builder plugins use as it relates to blocks and rows. In some cases it's called rows in creating a page. So it's not bad. So we're going to play with it today. We're going to make some, add some things to this page here, and actually let me do it this way. It's probably better if I start from here, and we're going to start a new page because I'd rather do that than, let's go here and let's kind of look at what this is. This is another one of my sites that I kind of play with, but this is just a site I play with. But let's go ahead and let's go over to this test page. And I don't think I have anything on this test page. Yeah, I don't. I didn't think I do. I guess I've got a buy now button. So we'll probably clean some of that up. But let's go ahead and edit this page. And we'll probably clean it up and then go ahead and use it. But this is showing the classic editor right now. So we want to, at least it's showing this block is the classic editor. It is using Gutenberg, but you can see that it's put the data that I had in the original editor when I created this, is putting that information in there. But what we're going to do, if I click on this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to delete this. Okay, so we can delete this editor, this block, I should call it here, because this is using the old editor that we're familiar with, and we're going to talk about when you do want to use that. But we're going to go ahead and remove that, and we're going to go ahead and change this title, and this is where the title is. We're going to change it to let's just call it. Let me move my keyboard over a little bit. Let's just call it the Guten. I think I'm spelling it right. We're going to check though. We're just going to call it the Gutenberg test. Where they came up with that name, I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. I think there's a gentleman, maybe it's by a particular person's name. Okay, so this is where you would put your title. This is where your title would go for, where you would normally, you'd have a title up here when you remember, if you remember the original editor, you would also have a title up here. But you can see this is really different. But let's kind of go through the whole frame here, or this page here, so you can get an idea of what this is all about. They have a plus button right here, and this is if you wanted to add a block, because remember that the way they have this set up, similar to some of the page builders, you have the option to develop I want to call them, you're able to divide your page, this is the best way to say it, into blocks. So you can have one block that has a video, and then maybe you'll have another block under it that maybe has some text, and then you might have another block that has some other information. So it's really kind of cool how that works, but you just have to remember that you're doing everything in what's called blocks. Okay, so now this is if we wanted to add a block, and it would just add a block right after this block here. Okay, because if we got a block here too, we have a text block where we can start writing text, but this would add a block right after this. Now, if we wanted to undo, we would just hit the undo button here. Okay, that's what those two are, undo and then redo. Okay, now this is actually content structure. And so if we click on that, that's really just telling you, how many words you have, how many headings, how many paragraphs, and how many blocks. So it's kind of giving you some data, really. Okay, and then blocks navigation, we click on that. It's just telling you the different types of blocks that are available. If you click on this, it'll take you over here. So we're on the text block here. That's what this is. And then it will bring this up. But we'll look at all that in a few minutes. Okay, now you can also add another block right here. And to me, that makes a little more sense than doing it up here, because it just seems way out of the way. But you can add a block here. You can also add something here if you want to add a block, which will add a block right after it. Okay. This button right here is if you wanted to add an image. This button here is that you could add another heading. And this here is if you wanted to add a gallery of pictures, for example. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the things they have over here. Yeah, let's continue looking at the block. Just a minute ago, we're on a paragraph block here. So that's why this is showing different settings that you can add to that particular block. And when I say a paragraph block, that's really just a text block. So, or this is really a text block. So you can change the settings. If I wanted to change the color, I could change that of the background color, or I could change the text color within that, just within this block here. Remember, we're just working in this block here. Now, I could also, let's see, let's look at the advanced. Not a whole lot in there, I don't think. Oops, didn't want that to happen. But you can add additional CSS code, okay? Because we can go up here, and this will change because it changed to the document folder, but this is also considered a block, so there's no block selected, so the title is not really considered a block. But let's do this, because I think you'll understand more as we go forward and look at some of the things that are available. So if I was to add well, let's do this. No, let's go ahead and add some text. Let me go get some fake text right quick. Content, that's the word I was looking for. So we just type in fake content. That's what we want to type in, and it'll take you here. And we're just going to get some fake content. So I'm going to take this, and this is what we're going to put in our text block mouse. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and take this, copy, go back over to my page, and we're just going to drop that text here. Okay, so what it did, which I thought was interesting, it took that text, it put a title to it, which is nice, and it put it in a, which I didn't know would do that, it put it in a heading box. So that would be kind of nice, so that if you are doing something that you pull out of Word or something like that and you have it already formatted, it looks like it will go ahead and format it, which is good. And then this is a paragraph. Now this is a title block here. So it created a new block as we were creating this. Okay. So now we have a block. Now let's say we wanted to we wanted to create a new one. And by the way, you can move this block, wherever you want to, which is kind of cool. Okay. We're going to leave it there though. Also, when you're in that block, the title will sit right here. You can also move the title if you want to be up at the top, but I think that's good right there. But anyway, so now if we wanted to add something else, let's add a new block, okay? So now when we come out of here, we should be able to add a new block either. Okay, let's see. And I'm learning too, so bear with me as we go through this. Okay, so we want to insert after. So we're going to add a new block. Okay, so it put a new block in there. Now this block currently, it says it added a text block. But if I wanted to add something else, and this is what I wanted to show you, when you click on this plus sign, there are a number of elements. That's what I'm going to call these elements that you can use to add to your website, whether it's an image. So for example, if we wanted to add an image, we can click here, and now it's set up for us to add an image. And then we can go to our media library, and I'm not sure what I have in my media library. I got some stuff in there a little bit. Let's go ahead and grab this right here. And so we'll grab that image, and let me move myself out of the way and select that image. Okay, so now it put that image into my site, okay, which is pretty cool. And so now we can center that, or whatever we want to do is pretty much centered, so we should be in good shape there. Okay, what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and add a new block, and let's take audio. Let's select audio in this case. So we're going to go ahead and select audio block. And so now we have a block in there, and if you have something in your library, you can put that in there, or you can upload, you can always upload something too. Now, what we're going to do though is we're just going to insert a URL. We're going to go over to Podomatic and just take a URL from a blog, not blog, but a Podomatic podcast, I should say. We'll use their URL. So for example, this is a beginner's guide in 7 steps of the sales process, SEO. And we're just going to copy this URL right here. Okay, so if we copy that, we can go back to our our page, and just paste that URL right there. Okay, and then hit this little apply button here. Oops, what did I do wrong? Please enter a URL. Oh, you know what, sometimes, here we go. Oh, that's weird. Why isn't, I'm not sure why it's not working. Okay, maybe we put something in there. Let's go back there and let's go get it again. Not sure why it didn't work. I don't know if we need the www. I think maybe because a period was in there. It's the only thing I can think of. I think we can go with this. Copy link address. Go back. And we'll paste it here. There we go. It just missed all this other stuff. We should have copied the link address. And so now we have the podcast right here. We could write a caption if we wanted to write a caption. And I can say SEO podcast. Okay. And then now that we have that in play, That's ready to go, okay? Now let's say we also wanted to add a video. Let's do that just for the fun of it. And we can scroll down, and they should have video on here somewhere. Let's see, we've got embeds. So now we can either do a YouTube video, we could do an Animato video. I mean, it's just, they just have a lot of Daily Motion video, Hulu video. Wow, I didn't know they could do Hulu. That's pretty cool. Meetup.com, not sure what that is. But you can see there's a lot of elements, that's what I like to call them, that you'd be able to put in here, whether it's Tumblr, VideoPress, WordPress TV, TED. But anyway, let's go ahead and just add a YouTube video for now. So we just go ahead and click YouTube. And so now it's just waiting for a YouTube URL. So we can either use embed code, I believe, and maybe not. But let's go get a YouTube video right quick. Click on YouTube. And let's, you guys know I'm a Bronco fan, so we're going to pull some Bronco stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this. Got to stop that. And we're going to go ahead and share, copy the share button. Okay, and go back over to here. And let's just go ahead and paste that in there. Okay, and I believe this embed button will embed it. And so boom, now we've got that video. Looks pretty good. Okay. Now, I don't know if you noticed, every time we're in a particular block, we have options over here. Let me move myself over here, and then we'll go back over here. But every time we were in a particular block, this changes. And what I mean by that, it changes because you have different things that you can do. You can change the size. For example, right now, we're looking at this image block. If we wanted to make this smaller, we could. We could say, let's just say 75%, or let's say 25%. And see, it made it smaller. And you can also play with the width here. See, that's 50%. That's 100%, okay? And we'll go back down to about 75%. That looks good, okay? But you see that you have options. You can put text in there if you wanted to add something to the image itself. You can see that with this Gutenberg editor, you can do a lot. It gives you a lot of features. And let's go ahead and we're going to save this as a preview, I believe. So let's go, I already had, that's why I can't save it as a draft, because I already had this one as a regular site. I mean, it had already been published. So it's already updated, so we can go ahead and update. And then let's view page. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, let me move myself out of the way. It looks pretty good. It really does. It looks nice and neat. Looks real neat. It just gives you, and this will play. If we play this, I believe it'll play. Maybe it won't. Looks like it won't play. I have to figure out what happened there. But the video plays fine. So we're looking good there. But you can see that this editor, it's a nice editor. I think it works well. I think it's it gives you a little more features and functions that the other editor did not give us, the original editor. So I think it's a good option. It's something that you can play with. I always encourage my students to set up a test environment so that they can kind of play with these types of things and learn how to use them. That's what I do with some of my sites. I use them as test environments where I can play with them. And I'll show you how to do that on another video where you can set up a test environment as a from your site without getting a new domain. You can just set up a subdomain and set it up as a test environment. But I think it works pretty good. It looks good. So I think I'm definitely going to use it because I like the blocks, because the blocks give you a little more functionality. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time on a lot of things today, and maybe we'll schedule some time to do a little bit more on Gutenberg as I learn, because I'm learning too. I definitely don't know everything, but as I learn, I am going to show you guys what I find out and what I learn how to use. So let's go ahead and end this video, and I will see you in the next video.